expecting highs to reach 90 degrees and in those low 90s through today. In the mid-afternoon, we'll still feel like we're in those upper 90s and maybe even triple digits for some of us. As we move through the later afternoon hours, we're going to see some of these afternoon thunderstorms popping up, and those will be with us till about 11 o'clock tonight. Some of these storms could be very strong and severe. We are also expecting some extremely gusty winds today. So we could see those gusts about 45 miles an hour. So as far as the hail is concerned, probably more likely to be in the northern counties or much northern than us. But we're really mostly concerned with the lightning here and the downpours that we could see out of this just in our area. So taking a look outside, we can kind of see some of these clouds starting to build up. We're seeing some of these little puffy clouds. That's just that instability in the atmosphere. So as we look at the satellite and radar, you can kind of see some of these pop-up showers, just nothing real organized yet. But when we get into later on today, that's when we're going to see it. 86 degrees outside. We have the winds out of the southeast at 9 miles an hour. It feels like it's 95 degrees, though. At 70% humidity does not help right now. Temperatures in the 80s along the Treasure Coast. Some of us are already in the 90s right now. And then more of us will see those 90s here in the next hour or so. And we'll be topping out just for a couple of hours in the 90s. Then we start to taper off throughout the day. That's because this trough sets up and a lot of these storms start to fire up mid-afternoon. So we'll see some more clouds take over. We'll get a break from the heat, but we'll also get the rain coming in. So we'll see heavier storms track around through, say, Vero Beach and then Port St. Lucie and over into Stewart. So a lot of you guys will actually get some of these heavier storms. A lot of the others, we're just going to start to see it fall apart. Now, tomorrow, we do have these storms start to fire up. More of us are going to see the storm chances tomorrow. So be aware of that as you're heading home on your commute and even into the evening hours on Tuesday. So today, just expect those temperatures in the 90s. We'll have these afternoon thunderstorms, kind of a rinse and repeat. As we head into Tuesday, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 80s. So we get a little bit of a break from those 90s, but we'll still keep the storm chances with us. Moving into Wednesday, we'll be more in the mid 80s. Storms start to move in later on this afternoon. Expect that timing to be around 4 o'clock to about 11 o'clock tonight. So those storms will build inland and then move across the area. Tomorrow, even higher rain chances. So we're looking at that 70% chance. So most of us will see some rain as we move into tomorrow, and we'll still have those storms with us. So here is what we're looking at. This is our severe weather risk through tonight. We are in the marginal zone. So all of the Treasure Coast sitting in this zone. What we can expect out of this is we're going to be seeing a lot of heavy downpours in some of these embedded thunderstorms in these heavier areas that are tracking across. We'll also see a lot of lightning as well out of this. So we're expecting some heavy gusty winds at time. We'll probably see about 45 miles an hour. So taking a look outside, we can see some of these clouds really starting to build, and even more so in the distance here. So as we look at satellite and radar over the last couple of hours, we've had some of these storms try to build, you know, become more organized. Not doing a great job of that now, but later on we'll start to see better development. 86 degrees right now, winds out of the southeast at 9 miles an hour. It feels like it's 95 degrees right now. Temperatures around the Treasure Coast sitting in the 80s for a lot of us, but a few of us are already hitting 90 degrees, and we'll stay in the 90s till about 3 o'clock today. And then once we start to have those rain chances increase and those clouds build, we'll start to get a bit of a break in the temperatures. However, we're going to trade that off with the storms that are going to be moving through. So the setup here is we have a trough, and that's where a lot of these storms are going to try to build up and fire up. Now, as we move through the evening, we'll see some of these spot storms start to pop up again. Nothing super organized until we get into later in the day because of that afternoon heating. So we'll see some of these heavier storms, you know, with the activity firing up. So again, as we get through the overnight hours, we're going to taper off. 91 degrees for the high today, keeping the storms with us. Winds out of the south at 15 miles an hour. For tomorrow, grab the umbrella. As we get through the day, we'll see some more heavier storms starting to pop up earlier in the day, but as we move through the day, we're going to keep the thunderstorms with us through much of the afternoon and into the evening hours. A quick look at the 7-day forecast. We're in the 90s today, but tomorrow we get cooler in the upper 80s.
Hey, it's the final home.